we had a very big issue. The right mid position was vacant and we needed somebody to fill it. And so it has now been filled by Juan Cuadrado. And today we're going to be finding out if this card is worth it to help get you more wins in FC25. And by the end of this video, I'll be letting you know the best ways to use this card if you do decide to buy it. But why should you listen to me? Well, I consistently get in the rank 2 to rank 3 range in FUT Champions. I'm also an elite division player, so I believe I can use my abilities to help guide you to use the best cards to perform the best for you to get you more wins in FC25. And before we get into the very important information on this card that can help you, if you do need FUT coins to afford expensive cards, be sure to use code CV3 on U7Buy for 6% off. Link in the description or link in the comments to get cheap and safe coins. So now, we gotta talk about this card and its abilities. Obviously, the most important thing about these type of cards, he's a right mid, but he can also play right back, would be the pace and the dribbling ability. But looky here, this card is kind of an all-around player, so most of the stuff are important. So make sure you pay attention to all the things and how to use this card that I'll be telling you throughout each stat. So don't miss out on that information because it can help you either want to get the card or not want to get it at all. So first, let's just talk about the pace. Now looky here, he has Rapido Plus. And I ain't gonna lie, when I was using his pace, if you're going against the Mudman himself, Teo Hernandez, if you think you're gonna get past him with this guy, let me just say this. Think about doing this. Imagine yourself as Spider-Man. Use your nails and scratch the wall and try to climb. Ain't happening. You're not climbing a building with your nails. This guy is not getting past no Teo Hernandez. He's getting clamped up. It's unbelievable in terms of burning. But any other left back, he may have a chance if you use the speed boost correctly to get a little step on them. But I didn't find his pace to be absolutely insane, especially with him having Rapido Plus. But he's not slow, I'll say that. Now the passing ability, I'll put it this way. All you want to do with him really is cross it in. Crossing in this game has become absolutely useless because they patched headers. So if you have a biggity to win headers for you, it's not really always going to go in. It's a bad choice to select. So I do say your only best bet is to cross it with him, but I don't really suggest doing that. So you might have to do a little bit of that twist and turn and try to get in the box with him and driven pass or something like that. But overall, his passing isn't garbage though. He can still do the simple pass. Now what about his defensive capabilities? Now for me, where I played him at in the right mid position, I did like that he has some defensive capabilities because it's a little helpful reinforcement on your defense. So now if you got Vinicius Jr. trying to get past your defense, Rafael Smayal, you can now double team with my right back being Maicon and Cuadrado. So both can defend well versus you have a purely attacking right mid. So if you like to have more defense, if you're not that good of a defender, it is helpful to have him on that side to have more reinforcement. But that comes with some cons that I'll get to. But the thing that I like to have my fullbacks to have is great physicality. And Juan Cuadrado, for me, seems to be a little bit shaky when it comes to that because his strength is, what do I call it? Puss in boots. Whoa! 74 strength ain't gonna cut it. When he gets near Rafael Smayal, try to body him, Rafael Smayal's like, what are you doing? Get off me, peasant. If he's near any type of competent strength winger, he's getting cooked in terms of strength. And that's what I don't like with Cuadrado. So I would suggest, if you're gonna use this card, to play him in the right mid position where he can still defend and also attack. Now he is a 5-star skiller, so he could use both feet, which is a very big plus to this guy. So think about it this way. If you wanna go to the left or then maybe to the right, either way, if you pass it with the feet, there's not gonna be some of his stats going down. So don't be afraid to do that with this type of card. Now what about the shooting and clinicality ability? Now with this type of guy, he's not a top tier goal scorer for you. He's gonna be more of the, because you should be able to dribble around, get in the crosses or the passes like I said to do instead. But can he finish? If you're in the box and you green time, for the most part, these players with 80 plus shooting, you'll be able to score. But outside of the box, it's not the best. Only if you really hit that trivela like I'm watching the telenovela in that right angle and you green time, there's a higher chance that will go in because that shot is broken in this game. But don't expect him to be a crazy clinicality finisher because he has no type of shooting play styles at all. No finishing like Messi, no power shot, no trivela. So he's shaky in that end. But what's the most important thing about this guy himself? That's the dribbling ability. Can he really do a little bit of that twist and turn? Does the skill moves come off properly? Because that's what you want with this type of guy. When you're on the back and you're getting pressured, can you get out of the way, away from the defense to give you some goal scoring? Absolutely heavenly. Chance creation. Well, looky here. Let me put it this way for his dribbling ability. Oh, wow. And why I say that is because he has a certain stat that makes me very frustrated using this card. They made his dribbling 92 and they made it look like it's so otherworldly, but his reactions is 80. So there are times I'm trying to do a little bit of that twist and turn. And this guy, when I want to go left, behind the back, in front, I'm like, what's happening? He's not doing it. Very forgetful responsiveness because them reactions are absolutely brain dead. He's a lost cause. So his dribbling and skill moves don't really come off that nicely because his reactions are so poor. So if you're gonna use this card, 100% I recommend you put a Maestro or Marksman that absolutely puts up his react because it's poor. So once again, the best ways to use this card is surprisingly avoid dribbling too much with him because he can sell you with the dribble sometimes and allow the defense to wrap their foot around you like the elastic man and take the ball. So do more passing, tic-tac Barcelona, and get in behind with him so he can use some of that pace that he has with Rapido Plus, where he can beat most people, but not Teo. But that does lead me to what I do think about Juan Cuadrado. Is he wondrous, mid, or doo-doo? Now, for me, using this card, after testing him out, he had some pros with a pretty good pace, and then he had some of the cons where he wasn't too responsive with the dribbling, but that leads me to saying this. I believe that, for me, using Juan Cuadrado, he is absolutely doo-doo with a name on it, doo-doo. I would not pick this card up personally. I think he's very trash with the battery action, being a weak player, not enough super pros, a lot of more stronger cons. But I did say the best ways to use this card, so if you still want to buy him, try him out and see what he is for you. But for me, I don't recommend the card. But this card right here, I might actually absolutely recommend. Find out if this card is wondrous, mid, or doo. Yeah.